Alright, so, chat. Let's talk. So, I've been on this platform a long time, as you can see. I've had a lot of different emotional turmoils. Some were self-inflicted, of course. But I've always been very confused, for the most part, about where my passions lied. I always thought it was just content creation and nothing more, just trying to play games and entertain people. And while to some degree that is still true, it's not entirely that's not entirely what is making me happy. And I found myself questioning what actually did make me happy and what brought joy into my life, like legitimately. Because just playing games, trying to speedrun them, and talking to chat, it's a temporary pleasure, but once it's gone, once you're done, you're back to the same empty feeling. You feel like that's something in your life is missing. And that's been me for a long time. I've been very confused about what was the future of my streaming career and what that held for me. And what really being a content creator meant. Was it worth it? Was it worth putting up with all of the trauma, the emotional struggles, the backlash, the trolling? Some of it, yes, but a lot of it, no. And I can say that because of Twitch, because of what has happened to me on this platform, I have gone through some of the most emotional trauma and scarring that I have ever experienced in my life. And I wouldn't wish that same thing on anybody else. It's been such a lonely adjustment trying to make friends, trying to make connections, trying to network with other people, getting other people to understand who you are and why you are you. Because a lot of people, still to this day, just see me as that guy who was told to be quiet. That's just how people see me. That's their impression of me, and that is their lasting impression of me. And a lot of people, that's not going to change. So, especially in recent years, when I've been trying to carve my way into different communities and trying to see if I can really find my place and find where I really belonged in the community, I was very confused. I was very lost, and even though some communities that I was a part of felt really good to be a part of, and there were wonderful people that were a part of it, I still felt very disjointed. And I felt like I was still very much an outsider, that I didn't count, that I didn't belong, that I didn't matter. And I felt very purposeless. And it's just been eating away at me for many, many, many years. I've tried many different things, and none of them really amounted to anything. But I had an epiphany today after just watching, some YouTube videos. I came across a video of a lot of different musicians collaborating on a project that it really kind of opened my eyes, and it made me really think about what it is that makes me the happiest, what brings me the most joy, and what my talent is, where my talent lies, and where my strengths are. And I really honestly think that those strengths and those talents lie in my vocal ability. Whether that is singing, whether that is voice acting, whether that is just using my voice to entertain and feel good while doing so. Because anytime that I sing, I put all of my energy into it. And I feel this strange euphoric sensation when I'm done. Obviously, it's very scary, and it's very anxiety-inducing to get up in front of a crowd and start singing like nothing matters or no one's watching. But especially recently, a couple weeks ago, I went to a karaoke bar. Very spur-of-the-moment decision. I went there, I decided that I wanted to sing some video game songs that I really enjoyed, and even though the audience there was like older people, like probably 40s, 50s, maybe a couple in their 30s, I still got a standing ovation at the end. People were excited, people were clapping, and it wasn't like one of those, oh yay, he did a good job, haha. Like, it was actually like uproarious applause, and I was literally shocked. I did not realize how much that meant to everybody. So, I think going forward, I'm going to put a serious focus on trying to get myself singing again. Whether that is doing covers, putting them up on YouTube, maybe one day making my own original music, finding people to collaborate with, and also voice acting, because that's something that makes me happy too. Anytime that I'm, playing a game that there's an opportunity for me to voice act, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy myself, and I feel at peace with my own mind. I'm not listening to my thoughts. I'm just reading a script off of a page and putting every ounce of emotion that I have into reading that. And it just makes me feel like, it just feels good. And it feels like if I were to divert my focus to doing that and really trying hard and working hard to build up my portfolio for voice acting and singing, I think that can really help me discover something I didn't really know about myself. And this epiphany, it really wasn't something that I thought to explore, because I always knew that, singing was fun, but I never really felt like I was that good at it. I was just like, I'm okay. Just like a lot of the things that I do. I'm okay at speedrunning, I'm okay at playing games. I'm not the best, but I'm also not the worst. And honestly, I don't feel like I give myself the credit that I deserve sometimes. I'm very awful to myself. I'm sometimes verbally abusive to myself, and sometimes even physically. And it's not a healthy way to go. It's not a healthy way to cope. And I feel like being able to express myself through song and voice acting and stuff like that, I think it can really bring a lot of clarity to my life that is right now very much missing it. Obviously, like I said, I'm not going anywhere. We're still gonna stream, but I want to try to make this my focus. I'm not gonna quit my job and become a full-time professional voice actor. That's not what I have in mind. But rather to include something in my life that can break up the monotony of going to work, coming home, playing the same game over and over again, getting mad at the RNG in said game, and then being so mad that I just fall asleep angry. That's no way to live, and it's no way to have your life repeat itself. And I think that it really is high time that I pursue something that gives me the inner peace that I've been looking for such a long time. I'm sure some of you guys are probably rolling your eyes like, yeah, okay, this is gonna last long. Or some of you guys are just saying, be quiet, which, okay, understandable. But I think that this could be a really good new direction for me and could bring me a lot of what I feel is missing. and maybe could even help my mood. Because lately my moods have been very sporadic. They've been very, well, what's the word? I don't know what else to say except sporadic. Just up, high one day, ridiculously low the next day. It's been an emotional roller coaster, especially with my job. I put so much pressure on myself to perform so well at my job. I give it everything that I have, and sometimes I don't treat myself as fairly as I should. Oftentimes, I don't take lunch breaks. I work straight through my lunch break, and I eat maybe some granola bars. That's pretty much my meal throughout the day, is just granola bars, maybe some jerky, but it's not healthy, and I need to apologize to myself. I've been such a bully. And I can't believe I've just let things go for such a long time. I've been stuck in the same habitual ways. I always know what I need to do to change, but I never take that action to change because the fact that I do need to change and the fear of the change not being good enough terrifies the hell out of me. That's why every time I always look back on the things that I do, it's like, oh, I should have done this. I should have done this. I should have done this. But in the spur of the moment, when the emotions are high, rational thought isn't always there. And I'm a very emotional person, as you can see. I'm not stoic by any means. And those emotions tend to lead me down very dangerous roads. I can easily lash out at people that I shouldn't. But that's another reason why I think that this should be a very good focus for me. Is because this will help me feel like I don't always have to be attacking myself for some random thing that I didn't do right. I need to learn that failure isn't the end all be all. It's a step forward. And I really need to forgive myself for everything that I've done, because I'm not a perfect person. And the internet knows. The internet knows I am one of the biggest fuck-ups on the planet. But despite all of that, I'm blessed with so many things. I'm still healthy. I have a family that still cares and loves me. I have my own place that I own. I have an amazing job. It's not the best, but it's a good paying job, and it's better than probably 70 to 80% of the people who live in America. And I'm so thankful for that. And I don't realize what it is that I actually do have. I just always focus on what I don't. That I'm not as successful as other people my age. I'm not married. I don't have a kid. I haven't started a family. I don't have a long-term career. I don't have a college degree. And that's fine. That's okay. Hang on. I need a second to collect myself. I'm not trying to be cringy or fake or anything like that. That's not the point of any of this. I'm really just trying to be direct with you guys, 100% transparent, letting it all out, putting it all on the table, and just freeing up my mind and what has been on it, because it has been cluttered with so much negativity for so many years and so much festering toxicity that has driven many people away from me, many people away from my community. Many friendships were lost, even banned in multiple streams that I used to call home, just because they don't want to deal with my reputation or my negative attitude. And that hurts. It hurts every time. There are people that I still talk to, they don't want me in their stream because they don't want my toxicity infecting their community. I get that. And I understand that. And if the shoe was on the other foot, it would probably be the inverse. I would probably have that person banned too. But I never really took the time to think about this properly. I always thought, well, what if I did this? And then I tried it, and then I'd fall back into my old habits. And people would notice that, and they would say, you haven't changed at all. You haven't even attempted to. You've done this 1 day, 2 days at most, and then you're right back to your old ways. But I need to keep moving forward. I can't keep focusing on what has already happened, because that cannot be changed. As much as I wish I could go back and change it, I can't. It's impossible. We can't time travel. There's no way to change the past. What's done is done. And if that means that some friendships have to be let go, some opportunities have to be lost, then that's what it means. But to summarize everything, I'm really, really hoping that this new direction that I want to take for my life will be a positive one, it will be a successful one, and I hope that you guys can support me on this journey, because we're not stopping, we're just getting started. That's all. That was a lot. I realize that. I'm sorry for the trauma dump, if it was one. But I just had a lot that needed to be said, and hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from. Hang on, you know how you fire back at the haters, you thrive in spite of their efforts. And make no mistake, you've been doing that. I trust you to do so much more. Thank you. That just means that those who didn't accept you for who you are aren't really friends, but we'll be here to help out in any way that we can. I just arrived, you stay strong, you do you, you sound like a good person. I'm not the best. I'm not the best person. I'm not the shining example that I want to be. Not yet. There's so much work that has to be done. So much work. And it has to start today. It can't keep going in a circle. Okay, I have to give myself a compliment. Let me think. I've been through so much over the last few weeks. And it's definitely taken a lot of work to come to the realization that I'm not okay. and that I need to be better to myself. Hell, just the other day, I don't think I told anybody else this, but I felt like I was letting my team down for my work. I didn't sell any lines that day, and I needed just one line to make my goal for the week. I had done 4 or 5 the previous day, so I was riding a high, and I'm like, you know what, closing one line should be easy. And the whole day, I went without doing anything. And I got so angry at myself that I decided that I wanted to punish myself by starving. That is probably the most ridiculous thing that you've ever heard. But that was my mindset. That if I didn't perform, I didn't deserve to eat. And it scared my brother, and it scared my mom. And it should never have come to that. So, my compliment to myself is 3 things. I'm glad that I discovered that my self-care is just as important as anybody else's, especially other people. Other people's matters should matter less than mine. Yet I make a laser focus sometimes to please other people more than I should please myself. So I'm glad that I'm finally addressing what has been haunting me for such a long time. I'm glad that I've finally found the strength to come forward and admit it. I'm glad that I've made the realization that something is missing. And I think that the choice that I have made to try to pursue something that actually will legitimately make me happy, because that has been something that has been confusing me for such a long time. I didn't know what was going to make me happy. Was it finding a relationship? Was it being good at a video game? Was it being successful on Twitch? I don't know. And the more I tried, the more I burned myself out. Because it was a temporary pleasure, but it wasn't a lasting one. So I'm glad that I had enough clarity to realize that this is a strength that I have. And this is something that does make me happy, and is something that I can legitimately enjoy and improve at. And more importantly, I'm glad that you guys are still here, and I appreciate everybody so very much that has stuck around through all of the bullshit that I have made you guys put up with. Because no one person should have to deal with as much crap and much baggage as I have. So I'm just grateful to have you guys in my corner. And I'm grateful for myself for being able to form the friendships that I do have with you guys. I don't know if that was 3. That was like probably 3 rolled into 1. Anyway, I should probably get back to work. We're glad you're here. Yeah, I'm glad I'm still here too. Alright, I need to figure out what I'm doing next. What am I gonna put in now?